Hello my dear student, welcome everyone. This is a video in the series of the chapter Crop Production and its Management from class 8th. A farmer requires agricultural practices to grow a crop in his field. The first practice or the first step which he has to follow is the preparation of the soil. That means to prepare the soil to grow the crops or to sow the seeds. This involves the plowing. Plowing means turning the soil upside down and by using a wooden or iron plow. Then the big pieces of the soil which are called crumbs, they are crushed by using the wooden plank, and then the soil is leveled by using a leveler. After the preparation of the soil, then the farmer goes for the second step, that is to sow the seeds. The sowing of the seeds is done either by broadcasting or by using a special equipment called seed drill. Broadcasting means sowing the seeds by manually, and seed drill is a special equipment which is used to sow the seeds in the soil. There is one more method which is called transplantation, where the seeds first sown in a small plot which is called nursery, and then from the nursery the healthy plants, they are transplanted to the main field. Now the third step, which is called soil replenishment. This step is the main which we have to focus in this video, and we have to lay stress on this. Soil replenishment. That means to replenish the soil by for some special or important nutrients. Students, just like you require nutrients and minerals to grow, similarly the plants or the crops, they also require some important nutrients and minerals to grow. Now, why there is need to replenish them? Because the roots, they get all the nutrients or all their requirements through their roots from the soil. But when the farmer, they grow the crops year after year on the same piece of land, then the nutrients in the soil, they gradually decreases, and the soil, it becomes infertile. So to make the soil fertile again, the farmer has to replenish the soil with the important nutrients. There are 4 methods we have to discuss over here to replenish the soil, which would be followed by an interesting activity which we will be doing. The first step is the method which is called field fallow. In this method, this is a very simple method where the field is left uncultivated for some time. That means when the field is left uncultivated for some time, then naturally, because of the dead plants and animals which are present in the soil, they naturally undergo decomposition and mix up as nutrients into the soil, and that is why the field fallow method is one of the methods to replenish the soil with the important nutrients. The second method is the crop rotation method. Students, there are some cereal crops like wheat and rice, which when grown in the field, they absorb the nitrogen content. That means they use lots of nitrogen from the soil. So that means the nitrogen content is lost from the soil. So after every cereal crops, the farmers, they grow the leguminous crops like peas and beans, which have the capability to replenish the lost nitrogen in the soil. How do these leguminous crops, they help to replenish the lost nitrogen in the soil? Students, this is a picture of the leguminous plants, the roots of the leguminous plants. We can see the root nodules which are present in the roots of the leguminous plants. The rhizobium bacteria, it lives in association with this, and it has the ability to convert the atmospheric nitrogen gas into useful nitrates that can be used by the plants as a good source of nitrogen. So that means the leguminous plants, they can be grown well even in soil which is poor in the nitrogen content, because it will be helpful for the soil and for the farmers to replenish the lost nitrogen in the soil, and hence the soil will get enriched with the nitrogen compounds which can be used by the next generation of the crop which can be grown in that field. So the leguminous crops, they are grown after every cereal crop. That means between 2 cereal crops, the leguminous crops are grown to replenish the soil with the nitrogen content, and this method is followed, which is called crop rotation. The third method to replenish the soil is using the fertilizers. Fertilizers are the chemicals which are prepared in the factories, and they are specifically rich in the nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium content, and it will make the soil more fertile. Fertilizers, using the fertilizers, there are many advantages. They are easy to store, easy to transport, and moreover they are readily soluble in the water. So that means root can easily absorb the fertilizer for their growth. But there is one disadvantage also of using the fertilizer. These are the chemicals. So that means if we overuse these fertilizers in the field, that will change the chemical nature of the soil. The next method, which is a better option, that is called, or the green method to replenish the soil with the nutrient, is the manure, using the manure. There are two ways by which the farmers, they can use the manure. Either they dump the animal and the plant waste or the vegetable crop which was left over from the last harvesting into the field for a month or so, and due to the natural bacterial decomposition they mix back into the soil, and that will lead to the manure. The next method is that either they can grow the quick growing plants like alfalfa and sunham, which can be plowed back while they are still green into the soil, and due to the bacterial decomposition they will be mixed up into the soil, and that will be called the manure. So that means we have done 4 methods of soil replenishment: by leaving the field fallow, by crop rotation, using fertilizers, and by using manures. Activity time. Let's learn and enjoy science by doing a simple activity which would help all my dear students and plant lovers to keep involved in a positive and a constructive way during this lockdown period. In this activity, let's see a demo how to prepare the homemade manure for our balcony plants using kitchen waste. This is a small demo setup I have arranged for you for making the homemade manure. You can use all the kitchen waste. I have arranged all the raw material, vegetable, fruit waste, the leftovers, the peels, even the rotten vegetables also you can use. We can use the weeds or the trimmed plant parts of your balcony plants. This is an aloe vera, and these are the waste leaves and the trimmed parts of the plants. Then we have to use the dry leaves. We will be using the used tea leaves, which are a daily waste product from our kitchen. Then we will be using the newspaper to wrap and the rope to tie, or the tape to tie this. We will be using a container. I have used a very small one, but you have to use a big container because you have to keep collecting all the kitchen waste for a week. So you will be using a big drum. You can even use a bucket or a plastic container or an old earthen pot. So we will be filling it with the vegetable waste for a week or so. So put all the vegetable waste or the kitchen waste over here in the drum or in the bucket. Then you can use the trimmed part, the weeds also over here. You can put that in the container. Then you can use the tea leaves, which are a daily produce of your kitchen waste. Then we will be using these dry leaves, and we will be putting it over here. The purpose of putting these dry leaves into this is that it will absorb the extra moisture also, which will be produced over here. Now we will be covering it with the newspaper because we don't want that it should be a breeding ground for some harmful microorganism. So let's cover it and then tie this with the rope. Then you have to wait for a month or so, and so that all these waste, the biodegradable waste which is produced in your kitchen, it will be converted into the useful manure, which you can use to manure or to put it into your balcony plants. this waste or this manure which you are using, we can also produce it by using a method which is called vermicomposting. In vermicomposting, we will use the red earthworms with the vegetable waste and with the biodegradable waste. Those earthworms will also take a month or so to convert the vegetable waste or the kitchen waste into the useful manure. Even specifically, if I say that if you want to produce the manure in a day, then you have to use, like if you are taking 1 kg of the kitchen waste, you have to use the 2 kg of the red earthworms. They will be producing it and changing it into the manure in a day. That means in 24 hours. So that will be very useful. We have a vermicompost pit in our school also, near the main gate. So I want that all my dear students, they should do this activity so that the kitchen waste is also reduced in their house, because we know that nowadays sweepers are not coming daily to collect it. So that will be reduced and that will be used in a constructive way to change it into the manure. Moreover, you can use this activity by clicking the pictures and all and making a good collage and put it in your science portfolio folder. Thank you and enjoy learning science.